1.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 25 of TLDR Podcast. There are just 4 of us today because we're missing Eric because he recently started 2 days at work, so it's a little tough for him to make it out here today. But don't worry, you'll still hear from him later. Other than that, the rest of us are here and super excited to bring you another great episode. But before that, let's check in with the guys and see what their last week has been. Alex is coming off yet another great episode with his food-related segment. How you doing, man?
Dude, I'm great. Got my Christmas tree this weekend. First time I've ever gotten one with the fiance. Chopped it down myself, Paul Bunyan style. Nice. It was great.
It's like 2 feet or what?
No, I'd say it's at least 6.5.
Wow.
Woo. Yeah,
pretty solid.
Christmas trees are expensive.
Yes, they are.
It was like $80. I don't know why they're so expensive, but
you chopped it down and also sold to pay for it.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't like on the side of the road.
Oh, dude, that's what I would have
done. At a Christmas
go to the woods real fast and just whack.
Yeah, a lot of all those Christmas trees that grow up here in the snow. I had to get my snowshoes out. Brutal.
Most of the trees burned.
Where do you live?
I'm kidding, James. It doesn't.
Okay, I was like, what? You live in California? I'm so confused.
Dude, I live 30 minutes from the beach. It doesn't.
All right, Tyler, you recently started a job at LMU. How's that going?
So far, so good. It's nice getting my feet under me a little bit. Hasn't been a lot of sports going on right now because of COVID and everything, but they're all coming back in January. So right now it's good to kind of get used to everything. And so far it's been great. So first week as a LMU Lion was a success. I'm looking forward to more.
How's living with your mom in your mom's house?
It's great. She cooks dinner every night. She makes coffee in the morning. Can't beat that.
Damn, shout out Mrs. King.
That's amazing.
Yeah, she's the best.
Thank you, Mrs. King. Yep. And Tradon, last but not least, hockey's coming up soon, man. How are you, man? Are you excited for hockey to come back?
I am very excited for hockey, but I'm way more excited about what I just accomplished over the last 4 fucking weeks of fantasy football. I made fucking playoffs. I was second to last or maybe third to last 4 weeks ago, and I looked at you, at that point, and I said, James, we have a chance to make playoffs if we go 4-0. I went 4-0. You helped me this week. I'm on cloud 9. I'm going. Let's go.
Watch him just get destroyed in round 1.
Hey, at least I'm dancing. You ain't even fucking dancing, big guy.
Yeah, but I'm not in last place either anymore.
No, you are not.
No.
So that's good.
You are not.
Well, all good stuff, guys. We have a really action-packed episode planned for you today, including our very first interview. So yes, we're all very excited for that. All that and when we return, so stay tuned. Welcome back. Last week, Alex came in hot with his Frankenstein food segment, and that was very well received. This week, he has yet another food segment, food controversies. Alex, tell us all about it, man.
Yeah, so this is what happened in my brain. I went to the store the other day, couldn't find anything that I was looking for. Got frustrated, said, fuck this, ordered Domino's, customized the Domino's pizza, put pineapple on the pizza, and thought to myself, dude, why do people dislike pineapple on pizza? It's phenomenal. So now I was starting to think of other food controversies. So I asked the boys, I gave them some ideas. They feel very passionate about some of these, and I'm very interested to see what they say. So I love pineapple on pizza. There's no problem with the sweetness and the savoriness. Pineapple pepperoni is a fire pizza. Just putting that out there right now. But some of the other ones, is a hot dog a sandwich? Bone-in versus boneless chicken wings. Do you count them as real wings if there's no bone, or is it just like a lump of chicken? And then also the big Chicago, New York debate with the pizza deep dish, thin crust, bendable, whatever you want to call it. Tyler, baseball, hot dog. Is it a sandwich?
100% it is a sandwich. And a lot of people disagree with me on that. But you have to think about how you go into preparing a hot dog, which is very similar to how you prepare a hamburger or even a sub sandwich. Okay, you got the bread. The bread's important, right? So whatever it is, you got to have a good bun, right? Then you got the meat. You cook the meat. Same thing as most other sandwiches. You got the meat in there, and then you put whatever else you want on it. Condiments, different things from some veggies, whatever you want to put on there.
Is a pizza a sandwich then?
No.
asking for a friend. Why not?
What?
That's all the
Oh,
same
no?
things you just said.
No, it's not. He
No,
said
it's
bun,
not.
bud.
Bun.
Yeah, it's bread. He said bread with
Yeah,
said
so what if,
bun.
but
hamburger.
that New York style, so you fold it, that's then
You
two
fold
pieces
it.
of bread.
2 pieces. Is
I
that a
know this is a
sandwich?
podcast, no one can see what I'm doing except
Okay.
for you guys.
Okay.
but-
Tyler, is
And
a
if it's
taco
like
a
cut right down the
sandwich?
middle,
But here's the thing: is
That's a
that
great
you can
question.
a pizza is not originally a sandwich. You can fold it into one, and you can maybe call that a pizza sandwich. Sure, I'll give that to you. But like as it is, when it's delivered to you, put on the plate, it's not a sandwich. But a hot
Okay.
dog on the plate is a sandwich.
So you
Can you
also
call a
consider
taco a sandwich?
Yeah,
Yes, it's
there
a
you go.
Mexican sandwich.
So you also consider a hamburger a sandwich?
those are
Because
called warm fast, bro.
Because here's the thing: it's like it also depends on what your definition of a sandwich is. For me,
Yeah.
a sandwich
yeah.
is some sort of meat or some sort of. It doesn't have to even have to be meat. Just some sort of substance in between some sort of bread. That's what I think of a sandwich. You got
Pizza.
sub sandwiches, right? So pizza, you can if you fold it, create sure pizza sandwich. I'll give that to you based on my definition. I can't be a hypocrite, so sure, pizza sandwich. There you go.
Interesting.
But a hot dog fits that description, at least in my mind, of what a sandwich is. It's just it's a different subcategory of a sandwich. Hot dog, hamburgers, tacos, they're all sandwiches.
See, I disagree with you. And here's why. If you're going to a baseball game and you walk up to the counter and you go, "Hi, could I get a sandwich?" They're not going to hand you a hot dog because a hot dog is its own category. It's not a sandwich.
I mean, I think that's just language. That's just language, just lingo.
That might be
Doesn't matter.
syntax. But okay, let's look at the
That's like
saying
actual
the definition.
definition.
That's like going up to the place and saying, "Oh, I want a drink," but there's like a tons of different drinks you might want.
Yeah, but see, if you walked up and
like
said,
if you
"I
want
want
a
a
beer,"
sandwich," they'd be like, "Oh, do you want a grilled cheese? You want a turkey sandwich? You want ham?" They wouldn't be like, no one would think, "Oh, he wants a hot dog."
You're right, but the definition is 2 or more slices of bread or a split roll having a filling in between, which
That's a hot dog.
would be a hot
Pizza.
dog.
Oh my god!
No, it would not be pizza. Shut the fuck up with the pizza.
Bread folded.
What? So is
not
what's
a
a
split
calzone
roll.
then? Because a calzone that's like
Yeah,
all.
calzone.
That's a
Also-
sandwich for sure.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah,
Well, I'm going to disagree. I think that's fucking stupid.
So like a hot pocket is a sandwich, right?
No, see, a hot pocket's a hot pocket.
It's a mini calzone,
That's just a mini calzone,
which is a type
Right.
of sandwich.
which is a pizza, which is not a
Which is
pizza.
a- which is
Only
a
James
sandwich.
thinks that pizza is a
Now we're all
sandwich.
going in a circle.
Yeah, this
James
is
will
a-
make anything a sandwich if he wants.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
True.
That's true. Okay, let's move on from that one. You guys can reach out to us and tell us what you think. So I asked, James told me he feels very passionate about this. So the bone-in versus boneless wings. So a precursor, I always eat bone-in, but
Thank
with
you.
all this hair on my face, it immediately means I need to take a shower. Because there's a lot of sauce getting in here.
That's your own problem, man.
Yeah, it is really my own fault.
Okay, so people often think that a boneless wing is still a chicken wing, and no, that's a chicken nugget. And I don't understand why people would call that a wing to begin with. Why do you go to Wingstop and ask for hey, let me get like a 12-pack of boneless wings? Do they come in 12 packs? I don't even know. Anyway, whatever they come in. That's not eating wings. That's not the experience. The experience is having to take the bone and eat it off the bone. That's part of it. The bone adds flavor to the chicken. Other than that, it's literally just a chicken nugget. And you can go to, I don't know if I can, Albertsons and get a frozen bag of chicken nuggets, and there you go. Same thing. You got to have the bone in for it to be a wing. And there's people who I respect immensely, who think it's chicken wing is boneless, and I disagree with them entirely.
Okay.
That's my case.
I think the bone in versus boneless, it's two different moods. Like if you have the boneless wings, wherever you're at, you're full on your number one priority, and all you're focusing on is the wings, which is great. So if you want the full wing experience, you're definitely going bone in 100%. Versus boneless is more of a casual thing. You have an actual conversation with someone while eating boneless wings. You can't do that while you have the bone in.
Dude, yeah, that's a good point. What if you take a lovely lady or man on a date and you get, well, first of all, taking someone on a date to get wings on your first date, that's a mistake.
That's a
But
power move.
it's
That is
a power move.
Power move.
Okay, but are you going to want to be eating boned-in wings and just like, even if you don't have a shit ton of hair on your face, just sauce everywhere?
Just all your hands.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's a power move, man.
Okay, wait, James,
Gotta have
real
that
quick.
confidence.
So there's the flats, which are like actual chicken wings, and then the drums, which are not, that's like lower part of the wing,
Hip.
right?
Yeah.
So is the drum then not a chicken wing? Because it's technically not the wing part of the bird.
Technically, no. But
Okay.
what I think of a wing is having a bone in. If you have a bone in, then I will call it a chicken wing.
Okay. I can understand that. I do agree with you. I mean, because also I'm pretty sure boneless wings are just like pieces of the breast that they've just fried all funky and made it kind of look in the shape of a wing. So I'm
go to
100%
Chick-fil-A.
on that.
If you want boneless, go to Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, go get chicken from somewhere else, or just make it yourself.
I
It's
don't
really
know.
not that hard.
Well, okay. The sauce that you get on some of the
Mm.
bone-in wings would be pretty bomb on like a chicken nugget. You can't get that at Chick-fil-A. Like, you can't.
That's a good
I
point.
can't get
There's
Asian
also
zing
bomb
at
ass
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A sauce.
Well, but I can't get Asian zing. What if I want some spice? And
You
sweet?
bring
You
your
know,
own own sauce.
I'm just saying. I'm not trying to say that they're wings because they're clearly not. But
Okay.
don't tell me to
you-
go to fucking Chick-fil-A if I
Go to
was
Chick-fil-A,
maybe
dude.
more chicken.
I'll tell you right
and
now.
more
Trade,
sauce.
go to Chick-fil-A.
God damn it, James.
Man, James is on one, man.
Dude, I know.
weeks
The
in a row.
last two episodes, James has just been fiery. I don't know.
Like I thought I was the one that had rants. He's taking it over.
Yeah. Okay,
It's the
Tradon,
puppy.
last one is for you. This one is a debate that goes across America. The deep dish, Chicago style, versus the New York thin, folded, apparently sandwich style pizza. What are your thoughts?
Yeah,
I know this is not like is it a pizza? It's more of like
yeah.
what you prefer, I guess.
They're both
but-
pizzas. I am more of a thin crust guy. I like the folding sandwich thing that we already like discussed. I'm not going to get into that. Mostly because I don't like that much grains. Like I'll even I won't even eat the crust of the fully crust of a pizza, and my girlfriend is just like, oh, I'll have it. She has all that. I don't like it, so I like more of the the cheese, the sauce, the toppings. So I feel like you get more of that, and that's what you're really going for with that New York style pizza. With the deep dish pizza, it's just too heavy for me. It's just too heavy for me. So that's why I'll take a thin crust any day.
Okay. So Chicago style, that deep dish, that's one slice and you're done. Like
Exactly.
that boy thick.
Exactly.
You're done after one slice, which can make you feel less like a fat ass.
True.
Because, like, let's be real, normal thin crust, I'm eating at least 5 slices minimum.
Yes.
Because it's delicious. James, what do you think? Deep dish, thin crust?
I'm both. I like all pizza. But if I had to choose, I'd go Chicago deep dish because it's way more filling. So I can actually have leftovers there. As opposed to if I get a thin crust, I'll finish out on the spot. But if
That's
I
a good
do
point.
a large Chicago, I'll have some food for tomorrow. Makes a little bit more worth the money.
Though leftover pizza is rough, though.
What?
Leftover
Dude,
pizza.
cold
I'm
pizza is
sorry.
fantastic.
No.
That hangs.
It's
Dude.
not good.
Leftover pizza is possibly better than fresh pizza.
Oh,
I will
That's another
stand
I don't know about
by
that
see,
either.
I will
that's
stand by that. Dude,
That's
cold pizza is delicious.
Dude, I'm gonna just buy you pizza, just mail it to you, and just have you eat it off the spot like that.
I think that's a bigger controversy than the fucking Chicago and New
Nah,
York.
man.
Yeah, come on, bro.
Nah, dude, leftover pizza is phenomenal. You wake up, boom, sliced pizza, breakfast.
Just,
So
I've
good.
Seen, I,
But
I, I
you-
have seen him do that with my own eyes. So
Thank
he's
you, Tom.
but
definitely
you can't
backing
get
it up.
that. But you can't get the crust back. It's gone. It's very hard, unless
Not
you
if you-
bake it again,
No, that's way
You
too
gotta
much.
broil it.
or you broil it. Yeah, but then you burn the house
Broil
down,
it.
Eric.
That is so much work. No, you just chew through that like a man. I think that's just what you gotta do. Or you don't even eat the crust anyway, Train, so who cares?
But okay, fair enough.
All
Fair enough.
right.
You got me.
Okay, I got him. That's all we need. There's definitely some other ones. We'll go real quick. Is chili a soup, James?
Yes.
Tradon.
Yep.
Ty.
Yeah.
Okay, that's my last. That was the last one I could think of. I don't know. I kind of
Love
feel like
chili.
chili's also just chili. Same with a hot dog; it's its own category.
Mm.
But I don't know. You guys let us know. I think maybe we're just hungry. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's it, James. I'm done.
All right. Great segment, Alex. Really giving Eric a run for his money when it comes to food segments here. We're going to take another quick break, but when we return, we're going to get a little weird with spirit animals and Tyler telling us all about it. And we're back. Spirit animals. The concept is a little weird, but so is Tyler, so this is the perfect segment for him. Ty, take it away.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Like I said, I mentioned this last week. It's baseball off season. I don't know what to talk about. We're going to get weird about it. So we're talking about spirit animals. Honestly, don't know how I came up with it, but I did. So that's what we're rolling with. So Eric did give me his spirit animal. He did take the quiz and give me his result. So right off the bat, I'm going to have you guys try and guess what his was just for fun. So
Do we have options?
no, you just got to, of all the animals.
Just randomly?
Of all the animals in the entire world.
Yeah. Or do you
Sloth.
want like, you want like a category?
Yeah, give
I
us
said
like
sloth.
It's a
us like
type of
mammal.
bird.
Type of bird. Blue-footed booby for sure.
No.
Damn it.
Tradon, what do you got?
I don't know. Penguin.
Nope. Not penguin.
Turkey.
What?
A turkey.
Oh, a turkey. Also not a turkey. He was an owl
A what?
because he's full of wisdom, apparently.
An owl?
That's
He
cap.
took the quiz wrong.
No.
No
Took the
way,
quiz
dude.
wrong.
No way, dude.
Eric
Yeah,
acknowledged.
so-
Yeah, right.
So Eric is
Well,
an owl.
The test has already proven to be bullshit, so let's go.
Yeah. All right. Does anyone want to volunteer to go first?
I'll go first.
There you
All
go.
right, James, let's do this thing. All right, so there's 15 questions, and we're going to go through the questions with each guy live. They're pretty quick. They're just about yourself, so just be honest or don't. It's kind of up to you. All
Be
right.
like Eric.
Yeah, exactly. All right, James. So your first question is, what is your favorite natural element? And the options are air, earth, fire, water, wood, or space.
Water.
Water. Gotcha. All right, then these next questions are pretty much you rated on a scale of very accurate, fairly accurate, somewhat inaccurate, or very inaccurate.
Is that a scale of 1 to 10? Or is that the scale?
Like 1 to 4, basically.
1 to 4.
Oh, okay. And 4 is very accurate?
Yes.
Cool.
And 1 would be very inaccurate. So you can kind of go.
Okay.
All right, ready? I feel at peace with myself most of the time.
3.
I tend to be more down to earth than head in the clouds.
3.
All right, next one. I find it easy to approach others.
3. Dude, they gotta give you a better scale than 1 to 4, dude. What the fuck?
Yeah, it is what it is. I frequently do things without a specific schedule or plan.
1.
The typical ordinary way feels like a betrayal of myself.
2?
2.5.
I frequently come up with ideas or solutions out of nowhere.
3.
All right. The more useful I am to others, the happier I am.
4.
I spend a lot of time observing before I act.
4.
I like to be impressive to others.
4.
I am always looking for new things to experience.
3.
I live a fast-paced existence.
Define fast-paced.
Just always
Not
on the
slow.
move. Not you're not
3. Thanks, tree.
not slow. Okay, so this one's another multiple choice one. So, how would you rather spend your free time? The options are going outside for a walk or hike, building something or engaging in a creative activity, playing video games or watching a movie, getting together with friends and going out, or reading a book in bed.
Getting together with friends.
Okay, last two questions. This is the same thing. So on that same scale, I require lots of time alone to recharge.
Ooh. Dude, that's a tough one because some days I'm gonna say 2.
All right. I seek out the secret of the universe.
3.
3.
Those are some
Okay.
weird questions.
Yeah, man. What?
Okay. So you guys ready to see James's results here? So I'm going to share the screen.
Very ready.
Oh man.
Okay, here we go. We all can see it, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
James is a turtle.
I'm a turtle.
Wow.
So what it means to be a turtle. The turtle totem wisdom teaches us about walking our path in peace and sticking to it with determination and serenity. Slow moving on earth, yet also incredibly fast and agile in water. Those who have the turtle as totem or spirit animal may be encouraged to take a break in their busy lives and look around or within themselves for a more grounded, long-lasting solution.
Does that sound like me?
I would say, yeah. What do you guys
Pretty
think?
damn close.
Sure.
All
I
right.
guess I'm a turtle. Good stuff.
James is a turtle. Eric is an owl. Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
All right. Let me refresh the page. Okay.
Hard hitting.
All right. So James had, so now you guys kind of know what the questions are. So you have some
Yeah.
time to prepare. So same questions. Alex, what is your favorite natural element? Air, earth, fire, water, wood, or space?
I'm going to have to go fire, right?
I knew you were going to pick that one.
Thanks, bud.
Yeah. All right. So same thing with the scale.
Mm-hmm.
I feel at peace with myself most of the time.
3.
I tend to be more down to earth than head in the clouds.
2. I'm trying not to answer the same as James.
It'd be fun if we're all turtles.
Yeah. He said fire though, so I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
that'll throw it off.
Dude, fire turtle. That'd be dope. All right. That's a dragon.
Weird,
I
bro.
find it easy to approach others.
4.
I frequently do things without a specific schedule or plan.
4.
The typical ordinary way feels like a betrayal of myself.
3.
I frequently come up with ideas or solutions out of nowhere.
4. Fuck it. Why not?
The more useful I am to others, the happier I am.
3.
I spend a lot of time observing before I act.
1.
Okay, come on. I like to be impressive to others.
2.
I am always looking for new things to experience.
3.
I live a fast-paced existence.
2.
All right, so this is the how would you rather spend your free time? Options are, again,
Mhm.
go outside for a walk or hike, building something or engaging in a creative activity, playing video games or watching a movie, getting together with friends and going out, or reading a book in bed.
Well, we can't go out, so hike.
Okay, last couple questions, scale questions again. I require lots of time alone to recharge.
2.
And then finally, I seek out the secret of the universe.
1.
Deep question.
You already know what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go share screen here.
Oh yeah, this would be good.
Yeah, better be something cool
There
or
we
shitty.
go. Alex
Is
a
a
butterfly.
Yes, baby. Oh, God.
What it means to be a
So
butterfly. The butterfly is one of the most
Emblematic.
emblematic totem animals, symbolizing personal transformation.
Yes.
If you see the butterfly as your totem or spirit animal, pay attention to the areas in your life or personality that are in need of profound change or transformation. Perhaps this animal totem guides you to be sensitive to your personal cycles of expansion and growth, as well as the beauty of life's continuous unfolding.
Wow.
The important message carried by the spirit of the butterfly is about the ability to go through important changes with grace and lightness.
Cool. Do I have to get this tramp stamped now?
Yes.
Okay.
Everyone has to get a tattoo of their spirit animal after this podcast is over.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. I love turtles.
Yeah. So it's going to be great.
All right. We're going to need at least 5,000 listeners on this pod for me to do that.
Yeah.
5,000?
5,000.
Okay.
All right, Traden, you ready?
And Tyler's
I am.
paying for it.
All right, Traden, what is your favorite natural element? Air,
Both fire.
fire? Okay. Don't even need the options.
He's heard it 3 times, man.
All right, here we go. I feel at peace with myself most of the time.
4.
I tend to be more down to earth than head in the clouds.
3.
I find it easy to approach others.
2.
I frequently do things without a specific schedule or plan.
3.
Jesus. The
I don't know
typical,
what that was.
that was weird. The typical ordinary way feels like a betrayal of myself.
2.
What is that?
What is that?
Christ, there's an ad.
Oh.
It sounded from our end like a screaming child.
It did.
I frequently come up with ideas or solutions out of nowhere.
4.
God, that hurt my ears so much. Oh,
Tyler may or may not be murdering someone.
yeah. The more
Look at how
useful
red
I
his face
am-
is.
That's
His
scared
face
the
is
shit
so
out of
red.
me. The more useful I am to others, the happier I am.
4.
I spend a lot of time observing before I act.
3. Actually, I'm sorry. 2.
Oh, too late.
Okay, fine.
It's inaccurate now. It's
Yeah.
going to be an owl.
Shit. All right. I like to be impressive to others.
4.
Like golf swing, right? I'm always looking for new things to experience.
2.
I live a fast-paced existence.
Such a weird question, too.
Okay, how would you rather spend your free time? You want me to get the options again?
No, building stuff.
I require lots of time alone to recharge.
2.
I seek out the secret of the universe.
1.
That's the weirdest one.
Dude, you got to find the secret of the universe. All right, here we go. Ready?
All right.
Trade-ins. Spirit animal is a tiger.
Hell
Oh,
yeah,
got the
baby.
eye of the
Fuck
tiger.
yeah.
There you go. What it means to be a tiger. In the kingdom of spirit animals, the tiger puts a special emphasis on raw feelings and emotions. The tiger spirit animal symbolizes primal instincts, unpredictability, and ability to trust yourself. By affinity with this spirit animal, you may enjoy dealing with life matters spontaneously, trusting your intuition, and acting fast when needed. What do you think, Tradon?
What do you guys think? It's
I'd
not
say
too
so.
bad, I don't-
I
It's
think
fucking
so.
awesome.
Neither here nor there.
It's fucking awesome.
Oh man! All right, so I'll wrap it up with what I got. So I got a deer.
Is it because you get hunted? You're not a hunter. You get hunted.
Yeah. So Tradon's hunting me, clearly.
Bambi, that wimpy deer?
Wimpy deer.
Dude, TBT to Trading Sports Movies pod.
Great.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So just my little, blurb is when you have the deer as a spirit animal, you are highly sensitive and have a strong intuition. By affinity with this animal, you have the power to deal with challenges with grace. You master the art of being both determined and gentle in your approach. The deer totem wisdom imparts those with a special connection with this animal with the ability to be vigilant, move quickly, and trust their instincts to get out of the trickiest situations.
I'd say that's like 75% correct.
Deer. I mean, that's pretty
man.
solid.
The intuition thing is on point, though. You got a really good
Yeah,
intuition.
the gentle thing, not so much. Drunk Tyler.
Yeah, well, yeah. The drunk deer is not gentle.
The drunk deer is just overly excited.
All right. Well, I hope you guys had fun finding out your spirit animals. We're all gonna get tattoos of them. It'll be great. So hopefully you guys all enjoyed listening to it. So there you go.
Interesting stuff, Time. Who would have thought I was going to be a turtle? I like to think I'm Crush from Nemo. Like that turtle's a cool turtle.
Yeah, there you go.
Cool turtle.
I hope you guys enjoyed listening and, learning more about us as people. All right, we're going to take another quick break and hear from our one sponsor. So if you want to sponsor us, send us an email, send us a DM. We're pretty much open to anything. We don't discriminate. But when we return, Tradon's going to go back to good old hockey. Welcome back. As I mentioned in the intro, hockey starting soon. January 13th, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Tradon.
Yeah, give or take.
Yeah, January 13th. Cool. Which means Tradon gets to talk about what he's most passionate and knowledgeable about, and that's hockey. Tradon, let's do that hockey.
Yeah, man. The reason that I wanted to have this topic and update everyone is because we actually got some pretty interesting news in the last week. At some point we weren't even sure that there was going to be even a season between the players union and the NHL owners were at it again. But we'll get into that. But we'll just start from the top. This year, for the first year in a long time, I feel like the NHL is just not in lockstep with the NBA. I mean, you guys are starting 2 weeks from today, right? And the NHL
they play preseason games on Friday.
Right. Yeah, you guys are already
soon.
starting to start up, and the NHL hasn't even started the preseason stuff, training camps and what have you. And initially we thought that they would start on January 1st, but it's looking like that target's long gone. Like you said, I think they're going to aim for January 13th at this point. Like right now, the players are still scattered all over all over the globe, in their own homes. Like they're not even addressed at their home teams yet. But give you guys an update. It looks like a bubble option is not going to be expected. They don't really want to go down that route. I think that's mostly on the player side. I think that was just kind of tough on them, mentally and emotionally and all that stuff. But we'll get into the little nitty gritties. Looking at the schedule, it looks like the NHL does not want to compete with the 2021 Olympics that were pushed back. The plan is to get the season done by mid to early to mid July, which is right around the time that the Olympics start. I think it's like July 22nd or something like that. We're going to see a 52 or 56 game season. It sounds like both the players union and the owners want to have a 56 game season ideally. The last time we saw this short of a regular season was back in 2013 during that lockout period. I don't know if you guys remember that, but right after the Kings won, we went into that mini lockout. James, you weren't even a fan yet.
No,
yeah, so the Kings just won, and then we immediately went into lockout mode, which is pretty unfortunate.
Just needed more time to celebrate how awesome they were.
Yeah, exactly. I like that. Actually, Alex, speaking of which, a shortened season looks like has always been in the cards, and it's in the cards. And we saw what a shortened season did to the MLB. It was a little bit different feel. In what you saw in that past season in the MLB, what do you expect to see in the NHL from the teams, from their play? I mean, there's not going to be much of a feel-out period like we normally see. So,
yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Obviously I wish it was a normal 82 games, right?
Yeah.
Season, but what we saw from baseball, and I think we'll see this from hockey too, is every team's going to go for it. There's not going to be a team like the Red Wings this last year that were like, well, we're awful. Let's win 4 games all season and be one of the worst teams ever. Every team's going to go for it because crazy things could happen. You never know. I'm just happy we're getting a season. yeah, I think the teams are going to go for it. I think it'll be interesting to see. I think we'll get some shockers. I think some teams that didn't make the playoffs last year will probably get in this year. Some teams that we would in a normal season expect to cruise in, if they get off to a slow start, you're in trouble. So I think everyone's going to be going hard right away. I also expect more injuries.
Yeah. We saw that with the
that
NFL.
in NFL. We've seen it in baseball. Everyone's getting hurt because training camp is going to be shorter. Preseason is going to be shorter. There's less training staffs on site, trying to minimize how many people are there. It's going to be wild. And I think just like how we talked about with MLB and NBA and this NFL season, whoever wins this season is going to go down as one of the toughest seasons to win, even with that shorter season.
Definitely. How do you feel about the Kings and their ability to capitalize on this type of, schedule?
I mean, they finished out the part of the regular season before COVID hit playing really well. And by the time this starts again, it will be almost a full year before they've played legitimate hockey. So the Kings, the Ducks, the Sharks, the Senators, the Red Wings, whoever else didn't make it to the bubble. It's like, I think it's almost a full year because they'll start, it's like 10 months, I guess. I mean, they're young. I would expect them to come out of the gates firing. It'll be really interesting to see how some of the older guys like Kopi and Carter and Quick can rebound. I mean, they haven't played for a long time, but how quickly can they kind of get their legs back under them, where guys like Iafallo and Kempe and Velarde and all these guys should be raring to go. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if a team like the Kings or the Ducks or the Sharks won their division, just because everyone's going for it. Teams are going to be playing. Teams are going to be playing there's no idea. I have no idea is pretty much what I'm saying.
Hey,
it's going to be wild.
Tyler, do you have anything to add as the other Kings fan here?
Yeah, I'm just excited that the possibility of hockey's coming back, and not just hockey with the playoffs, but seeing the Kings, because I think when hockey came back, for that season, the bottom 8 teams weren't playing, which unfortunately the Kings were one of those 8. And it was great to have hockey back, but I'm excited to see the LA Kings play hockey again. I'm excited to see some Kings and Ducks games and Kings and Sharks games. Should be really fun to watch. I think a team like the Kings that are, young and still kind of rebuilding, with a shortened season, like Alex said, could shock some people. I think they might be able to sneak their way in. We'll see, because they still have those veteran leaders on that team. I think they still have that experience side of it, along with a bunch of young players, I think, that are trying to prove themselves. And what better way to prove yourself than a season like this? So go Kings, go, baby.
James, it's going to be playoff hockey basically for everyone. How do you feel about your Ducks with this shortened season?
I think they'll perform better than they did last season. I think the shortened season is going to help them and their team. Mm-hmm. They're a little bit on the older side. They have one of the older rosters, so I think less games is going to be beneficial for those veterans.
Yeah.
Also, did you see the fact that they're trying to play all their games outside this year?
Yeah, I was going to get to
the Ducks. Okay, then you go get to that. You go for it, man.
Well, we will wheel around to that. So I'm glad you brought that up. But before I get there, I want to talk about how they might be realigning the league this year. So there's going to be a temporary realignment, more than likely. A lot of that has to do with the fact that the NHL is the only team that has so many Canadian teams. I mean, MLB and NBA only have to deal with one team. And I think the Raptors are playing in Tampa, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure what obviously MLB's not starting for a little while, but by then the vaccine hopefully will be kind of caught up and they won't have to deal with much on the MLB side, but we'll see. But considering the fact that NHL has so many Canadian teams, it looks like the temporary realignment is in order. And from what I'm looking up, and it looks like it's going to look like this: an entire Canada division. So Canada teams will play Canada teams. So, the Canucks will play all the way in Montreal, and then everyone will just be playing up there. They're not going to see very cross-border games. So you guys won't see much of your division rivals in the Oilers, the Flames, and the Canucks. On the West side, they would be bringing the Avalanche, the Dallas Stars, and the Minnesota Wild. As a Kings fan, or as a Kings fan and a Ducks fan, are you guys shitting your pants that you're going to be playing the runner-ups for the Stanley Cup, the second best player in the league and his Avalanche, and a pretty solid Wild team that seems to always do well? Alex.
Yeah, why can't we play the Blackhawks, who are not as up to par right now? Like, why do we get these teams when the Blackhawks are like right there?
Right.
So close.
So close. Yeah, it's not great. Obviously, it's not a good look, but we still get to play the Sharks and the Ducks. So
True.
that'll be
Fair
fun.
enough. James?
Yeah. I'm actually very excited about that because of all the bubble covers I did for you earlier. I'm like borderline a Dallas Stars fan now.
Oh,
So having like an opportunity to watch them play more often is really fun for me. So I enjoy that. And like me, like the cards are going to fall where they fall, and me hoping and wishing that the Ducks do well will do absolutely nothing for them. So they're still going to have to pick it up themselves. And all I get to do is sit here and watch good hockey. And I'm good
I like that. Tyler, what about you? You shitting your pants, shaking in your boots?
Yeah, I think those teams joining in makes that division tougher. But if you think about it, the teams that left are kind of pretty similar in terms of the team. So it's kind of like you have three really good teams coming in, but you have three good teams that left in the Canucks, the Oilers, and the Flames. So I think as far as the division in terms of competition, it's pretty equal. It's just different teams. Obviously, I think that the three teams coming in, I think, are better than three teams going out.
Yeah,
but not by a lot. I think it's pretty equal, and I think that, like I said, I think a lot of those teams that are on the bottom, the California teams, I think are going to be a little bit better this year. So I think it'll be a good division to watch.
Tradon, how are you feeling as an Oilers fan?
That's a good question
about Canada.
It's a good question.
Canadian,
so I don't get to play the bottom feeders that are the California teams, which sucks. But I talked to my dad about this, and he actually had some good points. All of the Canadian teams are in a lot better shape than they were, say, 3 years ago. I will say that some went the wrong direction, but some actually got better. And I think us playing those better teams more consistently is going to be a better gauge of how we're going to play, further down. We need to play those types of teams, because it seems like the Oilers have a tendency to shit the bed playing bad teams and do really well playing good teams. And I'd rather just us have that harder competition throughout. So I'm excited for it. We're going to have the NHL app subscription, so we're not going to miss a game, which is going to be nice. And for you guys, I'm excited for the sign of the same thing. I mean, you guys have young teams coming in between the Ducks and the Kings, and I think they're going to be playing teams that are, very, very good, and it's going to be a good gauge of where you guys actually stand. And I think it's actually going to be pretty fun. And just to give everyone an update on the other divisions really quick before I move on, I guess you could say the Central, or I guess you could say Central is going to probably consist of Boston, Buffalo, Detroit, Chicago, St. Louis, Nashville, and the Florida teams. And then the Metro is going to consist of the New York teams, New Jersey, the Capitals, the Flyers, the Pittsburgh Penguins, the Blue Jackets, and the Hurricanes. So on the east side, not much changes besides the Canadian teams kind of being not in there, but I don't see much change there, or not a huge change for some of those teams. But moving on, let's look at the economic factors of kind of what happened. So the whole season was almost canceled as the NHL came to the Players Union and asking for further concessions on players' pay on top of what was already agreed on in July prior to the Bubble Cup. James, you posted my article on that whole spiel regarding the CBA. All of that was being pushed back on again by the NHL, and the NHL players just weren't having it. The NHL is going to face huge economic pressures without fans in their arenas. I mean, they estimate that nearly 150 million of losses from each team. And in those smaller markets, like the Ducks, that hurts. The Toronto can handle that. The Ducks, it's hard for the Coyotes, it's hard for them to handle that. But I understand the players don't want to take a further haircut, even if they would be getting it paid back later on. Luckily, the force majeure, which means basically contracts can be nullified based on any extraordinary event, even though COVID is considered an extraordinary event, a majority of owners would need to agree, and it sounds like that's not going to happen. But nonetheless, they got through the negotiations. This is very similar to what happened in the MLB. I don't know if you guys remembered this, but when it came to COVID, they had a plan, and then the union or the MLB came back to the Players Association, tried to get some more concessions, and that almost thwarted that season. I don't know if you guys probably remember that better than I do. But I want you guys to put on your creative, caps as if you guys were some executives in the NHL. How do you think the NHL could offset some of these losses in revenues? Before I give some ideas that I have, Tyler, what kind of ideas that you have that we could, the NHL could gain some revenue back?
Shit, man, you're asking the wrong person this question. I'm a deer.
It could be something crazy, man. I don't just anything crazy.
Dude, I legit have no idea. Go to someone else, and maybe I'll find something.
Alex?
Yeah, I mean, the problem is without fans in the stands, there's no way to offset the revenue. I mean, maybe some of the Canadian teams can have some fans in the stands, or they're going to have to start selling like watch from home Zoom party things, and you get to like they're going to put a camera on Sidney Crosby's helmet and just put it on mute because obviously there's no way they can have live mics. That's not going to go well. I mean, they're going to have to do something crazy to get any amount of money to come in. I mean, I don't know if they're planning on doing, some of these states that maybe are a little bit in better shape.
Mm-hmm.
Minimal fans like we've seen in some of these football stadiums, but it's tough when they're all indoors. I don't know. I guess this is why I'm not an executive for the NHL.
James, what do you got? Anything creative?
I kind of have a couple.
Okay.
These are kind of far out there.
I love it.
The possibility of them happening are very slim. But I think TV revenue is a big thing.
Yep.
The NHL pretty much owns a lot of it, and then local markets own a lot of it too. But if the NHL and local markets allow each NHL team to commandeer and decide who gets to watch it and where, and they get all those profits from it, then the NHL teams can succeed in those local small markets there. Jersey sales is a big one too. So lower the amount of jersey sales, and each jersey bought puts you into a raffle. And I don't know if you guys have gone to games recently, but you guys haven't. But in the recent past, when they were allowed to go to games, they had those raffles, those 50-50 raffles, where they kind of like did 50% of the profits go to a charity of some sort, and the 50%, if you win, goes to you. And I think those jersey sales will give you a ticket to the raffle where 50% goes to the team, and then 50% will go to you to get more people involved through that. And I think teams as a whole should allow bets, and this will be on a nationwide level.
Yes.
So the government will have to do that. But kind of like what my bookie does or Vegas does is kind of bet on props and then allow each team to decide how those bets are paid off, and if they keep the money in house, always wins. So they'll make some money that way too.
I love that. I know that Edmonton did a 50-50 all through the bubble. So, I think that's awesome. Here's one that may come into the league, and it's going to turn some stomachs. It turned mine, but it might be the reality of what we're facing. Some have speculated that the NHL is moving to a more European style uniform league, meaning companies buy ad space on that jersey real estate. As a hockey purist,
NBA did it.
As a hockey
done
purist,
it for a while.
I understand that, the reality is it probably needs to happen. It just turns my stomach thinking that there's going to be a logo next to the Oilers logo or, Kings logo. And I'm going to ask you, Tyler, are you in favor of something like this? How would you feel if you saw a Chick-fil-A logo next to Kopi's Captain C?
Yeah, it would be horrible. I really don't like that idea at all. I think, like you said, that definitely turned my stomach. However, I do in these times, I understand it. Hopefully, if they do something like that, it's a temporary measure, to get some revenue. And then once everything's kind of back to normal, which that could be years, who knows? But hopefully they, kind of go out of that. My initial fear was like, oh, once they start doing that, they're going to like, oh, we can get a lot of money on this, and they're not going to stop, and it's going to be a permanent thing. I think we're going to see a lot of rule changes in other sports that because of this, COVID's season, I think a lot of changes that were meant to be temporary might be permanent, just because it builds revenue, or it just makes more sense to do it that way. So yeah, I don't like the idea of visually seeing that, but hey, if it brings us more hockey games, okay, I guess.
At least it would make the Ducks jerseys look better.
That's true.
Yo,
The retro ones though, bro. Those retro ones are
Terrible.
sick.
True. Fair enough. James, what do you think about this? Do you have any thoughts on this?
I agree with you guys. Like, I think it'd be horrible to do. I couldn't imagine my Niners having a logo on there. But that being said, I've seen the NBA do it and do it successfully. And or not that much, but the Premier League and all those European leagues, they do it with great taste. They don't put it next to the logo because that would look terrible.
Right.
But they find somewhere else to place that ad, which sometimes you don't even really see, or sometimes it's adds to the jersey. Whether you like it or not, it's going to happen. And when it does, it'll take some time to get used to it, but then it'll just be there and you won't even notice it anymore. It's just going to be the reality of what the NHL is.
Fair enough. Alex, did you have any thoughts before I move on?
Yeah, I didn't like it initially, but as I was thinking about it, like as you're watching an NHL game on TV, you probably see more ads in an NHL game than the other three.
Absolutely.
Because all around the rink on the boards there's ads, and on TV they put the fake ones up on the glass like above each goalie. I mean, I don't want the jerseys is a sacred thing. Like I get it, but like I like for the Lakers ones, they have that the Wish company on their jerseys. I don't even notice it. I don't even think about it. So I think if it like James, like you're saying, as long as it's done tastefully, I'm kind of okay with it, because there's already, every Canadian game you watch, there's Tim Hortons, gotta go get a donut. It's all, you'll get used to it.
Yeah. Yeah. There were people that had problems with ads on the boards, and we haven't even been alive since, we weren't alive when they didn't.
Yeah, because I don't give a shit about the ads on the board, so I feel like I won't care about the ads on the jerseys soon enough.
So to finalize the economic side, and also my whole segment, James had already alluded to this. 4 teams have reportedly investigated hosting multiple outdoor games so they could have fans, including the Pittsburgh Penguins, the Boston Bruins, the Anaheim Ducks, and the LA Kings. Gary Bettman, the commissioner, has said that this was an expensive proposition, but nonetheless would get asses in seats. That's true. James, what do you think about multiple outdoor games being played? Does it take away from the integrity of the game, or do you see any problems with this proposition from a state of play perspective?
I don't know how to take away from the integrity of the game when you pretty much played the playoffs with no fans in the stands. So, and don't you guys have that outdoor game where you play outdoors?
Yes.
2 teams. Yeah, you guys already have that.
A year.
Yeah, it's already there. Why would it take away from the integrity of the game? If anything, it'll get more fan involvement, because right now there isn't any.
True.
So a little bit's better than none. And what was your second part of that question?
Just what do you think about it?
I love it.
What do you think about outdoor games?
If the Ducks did it, I would for sure go to the Ducks games. Every single one. I'd make it happen. And I'd figure out a way to get you guys to Kings games. I think it'd be great. And I really hope it does happen.
It sounds like it's probably not, but
that's a bummer.
Yeah, it is. But do you guys think that if they went down this route, if it happens, do you think it takes away from the aura and that feel of that once a year Winter Classic game? That's kind of like a staple of the year, and then we would just kind of saturate the market with these outdoor games. Do you think that's a problem, or no? Tyler, I see you're shaking your head.
Go ahead for it, Ty.
I was going to say no, only because of the year it's been. There's been so much weirdness already. I think people seeing, their home team playing outside hockey every time, it's yep, that sounds about right. That's the way that this year's going, the way everything's happening. So I agree with you that the outdoor games are definitely, this really cool event that happens once a year. And I think this year, if they do the outdoor games, I won't have that same kind of nostalgia to it. But I think people don't really care right now about that. I think if they can go to games and they can see their teams play, that's all that matters. And I think, we'll go back to that, once or two outdoor games a year, and it'll be that same, kind of awesome once a season event. But I think for this year, I don't think fans care about that part of it.
Alex, you had some thoughts?
Yeah, my only worry is how, like what Mr. Gary was saying, in the expense of it all. I mean, I'm thinking back to that Kings Ducks game at Dodger Stadium. It was in January, but it was 80 degrees outside because of Southern California, and keeping that much ice cool and the playing surface up to NHL standards is going to be a problem.
Yes.
If they play multiple games, like Pittsburgh might be a little bit different. This Canadian team's a little bit different. Southern California, Florida. I mean, I know none of these Florida teams have said, but like any other teams, if they like teams where it's too warm outside during the winter, I don't see how they can financially keep it like cool enough to have the playing surface up to NHL standards. So that's the part I worry about. But I'm in total agreement with James. If it happens, I'm going to try to go to as many games as I possibly can, because I mean, why the hell not? Like,
definitely.
I mean, and then in the mystique part of it, I agree. I also agree with Tyler. You throw that out the door. It's been a weird year. Just be glad hockey's being played.
Yeah.
And just accept what we can get.
As I mentioned before, it's probably not going to happen. And the reason why is because the owners of the Canucks, the Oilers, the Flames, Winnipeg, they can't do that. It's impossible for them to do that. It's way too fucking cold. So it kind of gives an advantage to those teams that are in warmer climates that could even put the game on, regardless of the financial side, just from a physical side. So I don't think all the owners were in agreement, but I do hope they do it, but it doesn't sound like it's going to happen. But it was a very interesting article to read. At the end of the day, guys, we are going to have hockey in a little over a month. It sounds like. I'm very excited, regardless, how it's going to roll out. And I know everyone else is that's a hockey fan. We're all going to be watching intently. And as it gets closer, I'll do some of division. Once we know what the actual divisions are for sure, I'll go through a division overview with you guys, and we can discuss some hockey from the nitty gritty. But this was my update for you guys. We're going to have some hockey soon, guys. I'm excited.
A lot of good information there, Tradon. Very happy with that. Football, basketball, and now hockey in January. I'm excited. Okay, last break, but when we return, we have our very first interview on the pod. Eric takes some time to interview local SoCal legend Spencer Fuqua on youth hockey development in Southern California.
Welcome, everybody. This is history in the making. This is the first interview and guest ever on TLDR podcast. It only took us like 25 fucking episodes to finally get a guest. I've been getting this to happen the whole time, but we finally got it to work. Welcome, Spencer Fuqua. How you doing?
Thank you, Eric. I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. I'm a longtime listener of the podcast. Glad you guys decided to branch out, and I'm doing great, man. How you doing?
I'm good. I was expecting you to be like, I'm honored, I'm thrilled. I can't believe that I'm the first guest, but no humble brags, I guess.
Gotta keep it real.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Getting back into the grind of work. So that's another reason why we got an interview going this week for my segment. But I've known Spencer for a good amount of time, went to high school with him. We played lacrosse together. And we also now play hockey together, kind of just more pickup and stick times, but he's in a pickup league. He has a history and knowledge of playing both those sports and working kind of around those sports, especially with the equipment side and the youth development of things. Right? Is that right, Spencer?
Yeah, you can see me nodding my head over here, but that's pretty much right. Kind of grew up around both sports, from a young age. Funny story to kind of start off here. 3 years old, I've always been told I could skate before I could walk. My first season, the equipment I was wearing was too big. Every time I'd fall over, my coach would have to come pick me up and put me back on my skates. So, I've been around both games for a while. I've been working and coaching in both of them as well. So pretty good grasp on kind of the whole situation.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you got some background coaching as well. I forgot to mention that Arizona, correct?
Yeah, Arizona, and then a brief stint in the Midwest. But yeah, I was pretty blessed to get those opportunities. Really fun working with the kids and
Yeah.
seeing them grow up before your eyes. But we moved on to the next thing, you know.
It's crazy. I still feel like a kid. Well, you know, you never mentioned that the assist that I gave you for the first goal of our playoff game that we end up winning in overtime in high school against Santa Margarita, not a big deal, but you know, I guess there's the humble brag.
How could I forget about that one? You know,
I feel like you never remember it when I'm telling you this, you know, after we drank all night at 3 a.m. But yeah, you kind of already answered my first question, what kind of got you into hockey and wax. But growing up like in SoCal on the West Coast, like was it difficult for you to get involved into the hockey world and lacrosse as well, but more hockey?
yeah. So I'm just kind of going off of hockey. Like I mentioned, just kind of grew up around it. My dad really liked it, so you know, I was playing every sport I could as a kid: baseball, golf, basketball, hockey. If there's a ball, I was interested in it and always throwing it around. Got on some skates and kind of just ran with it there. Like I said, playing it from a young age. You know, and then I really started kind of like fall in love with it, for lack of a better term, and start to see myself get a little bit better. So I ran with it, and just kind of the overall experience. I've met, you know, some lifelong friends. You know, our friend Brad and some other guys that I've kind of grown up with. So from that aspect, it's been you know, really cool seeing, you know, friends from a young age grow up. But as far as kind of the hockey goes, it was pretty helter skelter there from the start, just kind of throwing guys out there. Not a whole lot going into it, besides just kind of getting out there having fun. The main teams I kind of played on were some roller club teams, transitioned into some ice, and then some rec as well. So there was some opportunities, but it wasn't, you know, like there's no billboards on the highway saying, come join this team. You know, it's more you kind of got to go out and find it. So it's kind of what we did, and kind of going from there. Yeah, as far as hockey, and then lacrosse kind of got in a little bit later. The cool thing about lacrosse is it's pretty much soccer and hockey hybrid, so it really fit kind of my you know, my IQ, and I just felt really comfortable around the game. And yeah, it's kind of my short backstory on it.
Yeah, I wish I had like a stat sheet right here of you in high school, because you got a lot of notches and points on that sheet. I was more of the, you know, little plays guy, not a big get on the sheet guy. But
You're the unsung hero, the guy we all needed.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, even with me in hockey, I think I got mainly into hockey like in college, or like right before I went to Chico. I went to like a Kings game randomly, and it was super fun. Then I kind of started watching them that year. They lost to the Sharks, unfortunately, but then the rest was history after that. They fucking pulled off some miraculous runs. And yeah, if those of you listeners that can't see, he's rocking the Dustin Brown Stanley Cup
Kobe.
final.
How's Dustin Brown? No, it's Kobe. It's Kobe.
Oh, it's Kopitar. Fuck, never mind.
Kobe,
Yeah.
Dustin Brown got regulated to assistant captain.
Yeah. Either way, yeah. Both good players, both meaningful players.
100%.
That's what I meant, Kopitar. But yeah, so you worked at a place called Monkey Sports, and around like our area, that's like the biggest, like I would call it like a stick sport factory, warehouse, shop, whatever you want to call it. But you know, a lot of hockey and lacrosse stuff there, and that's kind of a big thing with those two sports. Would you say, especially in the youth development, is the equipment factor?
Yeah, 100%. And there's kind of the stigma around those two sports. The barrier of entry is really kind of rough. You know, they always kind of compare it to, you know, a basketball or soccer ball. You just need a ball and a goal, and you kind of go out and play. It's not really the same. Monkey Sports provides a great opportunity. Yeah, we'll throw it out to the Ducks and the Kings. When I was working there, every day, you know, about 6 or 7, you know, whether they be 6-year-olds all the way up to 13-year-olds, pretty much pay $150 and get all the equipment. So we're talking skates, shins, pants, socks, everything that you need to play. So from an equipment perspective, they've done a really good job of kind of just embracing the community and getting out there and providing opportunities for kids. It's really miraculous. It kind of sucked, a bunch of little kids coughing on you and stuff, like trying to like fit them up in gear wise. But once they kind of get out the door and, $150 for all that stuff, it's really done, wonders for just kind of the youth development in the area. So shout out Ducks, but more to the Kings, obviously, because you know how we roll.
Yeah, I guess the Ducks are closer to Irvine, but
True.
fuck them. But we like them too for that reason.
Yeah, back on Monkey Sports,
yeah.
just to kind of say that as well. It's kind of crazy. There's like one other store in the area that's, I'd say, subpar. Monkey's got like 10 locations nationwide, and probably the biggest, hockey selection. They just put some goalie stuff in their store too. Like from like I would even say like Chicago, St. Louis area, we'd have people driving from Vegas coming to get the gear that they needed to get fitted up by some of our fitting experts. So a huge store, huge opportunity for kind of everyone in the West Coast, really just kind of trying to grow the sport.
Yeah, it is important. That's like a big knock is, you could walk on a basketball court or like a soccer field at a park and pretty much not need anything. You could even be barefoot. Someone's got a ball. I guess soccer, you need a goal, but yeah, that's the knock. But if you do have time and a little bit of money to get in to the equipment, I'd say it's worth it. I remember when I tried to get into hockey in like third grade, there was a waiting list at Coast to Coast.
Yeah.
And so then my dad's like, well, you're going to play water polo instead. I was like, oh, fuck. But yeah, I mean, we were kind of getting into the youth development. What are some things like you think are important to focus on for like a young hockey player growing up? Even lax, I feel like they're very similar with the stick skills involved and things like that.
Yeah, so I'll talk a little bit about kind of like developmental, like personally, and then kind of like the gear that kids should be buying, in my opinion. Developmentally, as a coach and playing for hockey, the main thing you want to be working on is skating. It's by far one of the hardest things to do besides like hitting a baseball with a baseball bat, right? I'd say like 90% of hockey is, my bad. Like 90% of hockey is definitely skating. And you and I can tell how hard it is to kind of just stop and pivot, get your momentum going, not fall over. And on the flip side, kind of lacrosse, I'd say the 90% thing is as well as your stick skills, right? So when you talk about it both ways, skating and then your stick skills, it's kind of like when you kind of master that area, that's one less thing you have to worry about on the ice or on the field. So a lot of times if you have subpar stick skills, or you can't skate that well, you're thinking about like, okay, am I going to catch this ball? What, am I going to catch it first instead of being like, okay, I know I'm going to catch this. What am I doing next with it, right? So for kids to really kind of lock in those fundamentals, same thing with skating. Like I'm going to receive this puck, but I'm already skating. I don't need to worry about my feet. It just kind of becomes a natural thing. So developmental wise, those are by far the two main things that I would kind of have. If I had a kid, that's what I'd have him been doing, repping out. And kind of on the flip side, with the gear and everything, for kids, it's it's the sticker price, it's the brand names, right? They always want what the best kid on their team has. But I see it time and time again, especially with COVID. I hate bringing it up, but we'd have kids of all ages buying skates and the full set, and then 9 months later they haven't touched it, and they come back in and have to get a size up of everything. So when you're looking at sticker prices and skates across both sports, find something that's comfortable, kind of right in the mid-range. You don't really need to get to that higher end until you get a little bit more skill, and then you can specify. It's kind of the good thing about the higher end things is they're more built towards a specific asset of your game, whereas the cheap stuff on the other side, you're not going to be able to develop and really kind of get any fundamentals. But right in the middle, something that's going to last you, it's going to be comfortable, it's going to protect you. And at the end of the day, you just kind of, you don't want to be worrying about your gear. You want to be worrying about, being on the ice, having fun with the boys and getting better. And like they say, the last thing I'll kind of say on this, I'm sure you'll have something to respond to, is hockey players, lacrosse players are kind of creatures of habit. Once they find something that works for them, it's hard to kind of talk them out of getting something else. So you kind of like to see some of the major brands drop some prices here and there, but if you're paying for quality, that's what you're going to get, really.
Yeah, definitely. I think the first stick I had that I like finally started like getting shots up with was like a Cronwall stick or something.
Yeah.
And Tyler would remember this. Me and him were in a pickup league at Chico, and I fucking broke it on the goal. I think when we blew like a 3-goal lead in the last
Yeah.
period, and then like I could never find the stick again. So, yeah, I guess words of wisdom. When you do find that habit and the stick, make sure there's more than one of them, or that they don't stop making them, especially if the player's retired. Maybe that's just a lesson I just learned now that I say it.
No, that's a great point. I mean, some guys kind of fall in love with their stick and kind of like the play style with it, and then they leave the league, and you're kind of like, all right, who's the next person? You kind of got to adapt your game around that. So,
Yeah.
so I totally agree with you on that.
That's good info, because we do have like a good listening population of like younger kids, especially on our Instagram posts.
Right on.
They get super rattled with like the picks we have in fantasy and all these different things. So here's some actual knowledge we could give to them, how to develop and get better. It sounds simple, but it is very difficult to do. Anything with your like pathway of lacrosse or hockey that you would change, like growing up, like if you were to maybe fucking attempt for the NHL or the Always Hungry League, they call it the AHL, whatever, any league like that, or the PLL for lacrosse, like, are there any habits you would have changed? Or
Yeah, I think I'd be more of a QMJ AHL guy myself. I don't know about the AHL, but I would. I mean, with my body type, for those who can't see me, obviously like 5'8", 180. Very Paul Kariya-esque. There was a path, and I felt like there's some natural ability there. Something that I kind of view as a pro and con. I can talk a little about college recruiting and how they really view athletes as well. Is some guys kind of get pigeonholed into a sport. Say they're 6 years old and the coach says you're really really good. We want you to join this club XYZ, and they kind of just get stuck into it. Right? They're not playing other sports. They're not meeting other people. They're not like kind of well-rounding their athletic skills, and I've seen it even on like college lacrosse team. They just get burned out. A lot of really good athletes that can have the talent, and just the drive isn't there because they've been playing that one sport for 7-8 years. So like I'm kind of on the flip side of that, where like I was saying, I play every sport that's known to man. I just kind of love it, learning new things. But if I really wanted to make the AHL or the PLL, there's a lot that goes into it. You see these high-level athletes like Russell Wilson, LeBron James, taking care of their bodies, doing really good stretching, kind of like your area of expertise, like specified stretching, good diets, good kind of like weightlifting and working out. But it also is kind of like a product of your opportunity. You can go to a tournament and have a bad 4 games and get injured or something, and those college coaches aren't going to see you. Whereas on the flip side, you can go to one game, have the right guy look at you and be like, all right, bam, we'll take him. So there's no real defined route. With my path, I kind of, as competitive as I am, I kind of saw the fun in it, in the community aspect. But if you're really looking into it, you can get all specified out now. There's coaches for every little area that you can do. Like we see it at KHS, right, Eric? Like we see these guys kind of grinding for an hour and a half, just skating, not even really touching pucks. But if you see the potential there, I guess to summarize, you see the potential there, and you really want to go for it. It's a lot of hard work and discipline. You got to outwork whoever's right next to you. But at the same time, you can really just kind of have fun with it, and if it naturally progresses, then let's go.
Yeah, it's not all about trying to just shoot the top right corner every time, Tyler, if you're listening to this. But no, I do the same thing. Yeah, it's good that we've gotten into more like drills and skating and things like that. And especially you see those kids, and usually it's like high school kids almost, or younger kids, like they're doing all the fundamental stuff you're talking about before they even get to the stick skills. Yeah, man, that was solid info. One of our other members, he's doing a segment that I just thought I would throw a few questions at you, and it's completely off topic, of course, from this, but it's food controversies.
Love it.
So first thing first, deep dish pizza versus New York style pizza. I know you lived in Chicago for a little bit. Which one is better?
I'm going New York style. I actually worked at a pizza place in Chicago to see how much cheese goes into those, and they're kind of a pain. They're not just your. It's like you sit down at a restaurant, fork and knife type deal, not the watching football on Sunday, grabbing some pizza. So I gotta go New York on that one.
Yeah, I would go New York as well. I worked at a New York pizza place out in Seal Beach, and
I went there today actually for lunch.
you did Slice. Yeah, it's
Slice-
become like your
Slice,
new
yeah.
go-to, huh?
Yeah, right down the street.
Shout out Slice New York, no free ads. But yeah, that I agree with you too. Like the deep dish is like a straight pie. Like it's good like once every 2 years. I've been to Chicago like twice, and that was like the last 2 times I had it.
Yeah.
Here's another one: bone in versus boneless wings. I know you're a wild wings guy.
Ooh, I am a hot wings guy. And it's typical to be manly and say I like the bone in, but I'm still gonna roll with the bone in. I think there's more there to do to pick around. Whereas boneless, just kind of eating wings. It doesn't really feel like you're eating wings. That's kind of my opinion on that.
Nah, dude, I'm going boneless.
Oof,
I don't
oof.
know. This sounds like I'm a pansy, but sometimes bone-in wings can be messy as shit. Like
100%.
imagine like having chapped lips. When you have chapped lips and you eat like buffalo wings, so gnarly. But these are just random little like scenarios. But I would probably go boneless. That's where I like started with the wings. They're both good though. It's hard. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Yeah, it is.
Is a glizzy a sandwich?
Yeah, I've thought long and hard about this. So is pizza, by the way. You got the bread and the meat. I don't know what else you need to make a sandwich.
It's like a vegan or like vegetarian sandwich or something.
Not if you have a hot dog.
No, pizza.
Yeah. I guess a slice of cheese pizza could be a vegetarian sandwich.
Yeah, a hot dog is a sandwich, especially if you cut it in half, because like it's in between bread with like things, just different things.
Yeah, 100%.
Like Chicago dogs, those are the best ones.
What do you like on your hot dog? In Chicago, if you didn't get it with mustard, you get like shunned from wherever you are. There's this place called the Wiener Circle, and like they'll kick you out. It's like a bunch of like hot dog stands and stuff. They'll kick you out if you like ask for ketchup on your hot dog, which I do anyway.
Yeah, I grew up only eating ketchup on hot dogs, but the first time I had mustard, I didn't realize it was like sour as shit, and I thought it was like bad. Like I had a hot dog and it was only mustard on it, and I was like, this hot dog's bad. Like it was like raw or it wasn't cooked all the way. But that's like the fucking taste of mustard. Mustard's only good with ketchup combined with it.
I 100% agree with that. Give me some grilled onions on there, and we'll call it a day.
Yeah, the Chicago like Portillo's, that place is fire in Chicago.
Ooh. Yeah,
so healthy, just fucking beers, like chili fries and hot dogs. Last other little controversy he had, should pineapple be on pizza?
I personally don't really like Hawaiian style pizza. I will eat it. But then again, if it floats your boat, I'm gonna say no. I'll be the controversial one. It doesn't belong on there.
I think if you just got a straight, like, can I get a cheese pizza, add pineapple? It's kind of weird. That's just like fucking dessert almost or something. It's good if you get it with like jalapeno with it or something, like a sweet and spicy. But like just having it strictly on there, it's kind of weird. Pineapple pepperoni is bomb.
Yeah.
There's a place in Chico, they would do one called, it's called Celestino's. Tyler and Alex, you'll know about this. And it's like Oscar spicy luau. It was garlic, pepperoni, jalapeno, and pineapple.
I would eat that.
It would kind of fuck your stomach up. So
here's the thing: is like pizza is very good by itself, and pineapple is super fucking bomb by itself.
Yeah.
So like when you combine the two, it doesn't like make a whole lot of sense. I'll take a bite of pineapple, a bite of pizza.
Makes it fucking droopy and like wet too.
Yeah.
With all the juices.
Sometimes the pineapple on there isn't very high quality pineapple. It's just some like canned pineapple. So
yeah, that's what Slice does, dude.
Good thing I haven't gotten it.
Yeah. All right, dude. Well, that was solid. That was the first ever interview of TLDR podcast, episode 25. You guys heard it here first. More interviews to come, but it's going to be hard to follow these footsteps and fill these shoes here. So you must be honored, right, Spencer?
I'm as honored as you could possibly be. I already tweeted about it. I'll do anything you need. I'm so honored.
Oh, yeah. All right, man. Well, thank you.
Yeah, 100%. Appreciate the shout out. See you Friday, right?
We got our first preseason game versus the Lakers Friday, so I'll see you on TV, or you'll see me, I guess, maybe if they even let me in.
Go check out the 3 at halftime.
Maybe Saturday we'll go.
Yeah, I'm about it.
All right.
Good, brother.
All right, everyone. That was episode 25. We hope you enjoyed. Give us a review on Apple Podcasts and follow us on social media. We're pretty much on everything: Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, not Facebook.
Not Facebook.
But we can make one if you guys want us to, so let us know. We hope you have a good rest of your week, and we'll catch you on episode 26.